Why, hello everybody, welcome back to Kat's Tiny Kitchen. I'm gonna just do the ingredients as we go along. This is my first time cooking since my hip replacement, and I want to make it a little quicker than normal. So we're starting out with some oil. We're making venison chili, and the venison is very lean, so you need to have some oil in there so that it doesn't burn up. So we're gonna add a pound of venison, and for those of you that don't know what venison is, it is deer meat. And this ought to be some pretty doggone good chili. So we're going to get this started. And we'll be back for the next step. We're back, and it's browning nicely, and it's not quite there yet, but that's fine because now I'm going to add, this is a medium onion. It's about a cup. We want to get that sauteed. And my stove is so slow. You're going to see this later, but I'm doing this on New Year's Day. I've been off work and had my total hip replacement. If you guys saw my little crazy video short that I put out there, I'm bored. I'm getting around nicely, still got some pain, but I need to do things. I can't sit around anymore, and since they want me to walk, I'm good coming out here and doing this, and then in between things I can walk. So there you go. So while these are sauteing, I'm going to start adding the seasonings, which I have. I have a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I have a half a teaspoon of chipotle seasoning. I have a half a teaspoon of our smoked jalapeno, ground smoked jalapeno. I have a teaspoon of salt, pepper, garlic. And I have a pinch of ginger and a pinch of allspice that we're going to add into there. I'm going to get that all stirred in. And I do want the onions to get a little more cooked than they are right now. But it doesn't need to be because I'm going to let this cook for like an hour. And by the time we're ready to eat it, the onions will be cooked and fine. So with that being said, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of garlic. Now you can add less, you can add none. It's up to your taste. We like garlic. So we got 2 tablespoons of garlic, garlic, I should say, going in here. And now we're going to let this go for a little bit because I want to make sure that that meat is fully cooked itself before we start adding any of the other ingredients. So I'll see you in a minute. Alright, we're back. Meat's cooked enough, so we're going to start dumping the rest of our ingredients in here and get this on the road. So I'm going to start out with one 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes. Now I have a can of small kidney beans that I've drained. I've got a can of black beans that I've drained. And then I've got another can of red kidney beans that I have not drained. That helps to thicken it up a little bit. And then get this stirred in a little bit. And now we just need to add our broth, which is I think this is 46 ounces. Yeah, 46 ounces of tomato juice. Now you can add a little beef stock if you want to. We just don't do it. It doesn't taste good to me that way. So we've got all of our ingredients in here. And I want to bring this back to a boil. And once it's back to a boil, I'm going to reduce the heat and cook it on like medium low. I want to get a good simmer. And I'm going to cook this for an hour. I want to make sure the onions are fully cooked and all of these wonderful flavors meld. And we will taste test it later to see if it might need anything else. Maybe a little salt, pepper, garlic. Maybe a little more garlic. I'll put some garlic powder in at this point. I can put fresh or the garlic, but I would rather use the garlic powder once it's cooked because that takes a little bit longer. So give me about an hour and we'll be back. We are an hour out and the chili is done. It is smelling so good. I had Mr. Mike test it a little bit ago. He said it doesn't need anything. Couple of things. If you don't like venison, you can use ground beef. You can use ground turkey or ground chicken, whatever you want to use. But for us tonight, it is venison. And for those of you who don't know what venison is, it is deer meat. So all we have left to do right now is to dish it up, take a picture, and eat it up. And I cannot wait. So thank you all for coming along. I wish you the very best of the new year, and we will see you on the next video.